Hi, I'm SDG Alg. This is SDG Labs. There's this negative boy who was unsure about going to this radical party. He was kind of a square, and so he missed out on talking to 4 awesome chicks. The party was over at 2 a.m. Alright, let's take a look at how these different degrees of polynomials affect what the graph looks like. Now let's graph y equals to 5. So that's pretty straightforward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's saying that y equals to 5. Okay, well y equals 5. Well, what about when x equals 7? Oh well, y equals 5. Okay, well what about when x equals negative 2? Fine, y equals 5. How do I know? Well, I just told you y equals 5. That's all this thing is telling me. This graph right here is a horizontal line at height, well, y equals 5. What degree is that polynomial? Well, technically it doesn't look like it's to any degree, or I guess you could say that it's to the 0th degree, because you could put an x to the 0th power. Anything to the 0th power is the number 1. So that's the same. Y equals 5x to the 0 is the same as saying y equals 5. So technically this is a 0th degree polynomial, and it happens to be a horizontal line set at whatever the y equals to. This right here you're familiar with. This is y equals mx plus b style. You got a negative 2/3 x plus 1. Alright, so that means its y-intercept is 1, and then I go down 2 across 3, so 1, 2, across 3, 1, 2, 3, and the graph kind of looks like this. Now, I guess the question that I would ask is, does this thing end up, it starts up high, it ends up low. So it starts in one direction, you know, it starts going up in this direction, but then it ends going down in this direction. This is to the 1st degree polynomial. So something to the 1st degree polynomial starts and ends in different directions. And what about this one? Let's graph this. Alright, this is a parabola. You've seen this before. See this 3 right here? It tells me that that regular parabola actually gets shifted up by 3. This negative 2 tells me that that parabola got shifted to the right by 2. And then this negative right here says it's a sad parabola. So we've got a regular parabola shifted up by 3, 1, 2, 3, shifted to the right by 2, 1, 2, and it's sad. So I would say it looks something like this. I'm going to get rid of that dot, dot, dot. There we go. Alright, let's look at where it starts and where it stops. This thing started going down. This thing ended going down as well. So it's to the 2nd power, or the degree of this polynomial is the 2nd degree, and it's starting and stopping in the same direction. You know, on this side of the graph it's going down, on that side of the graph it's going down. Why don't we take a look at another function? And at this point I don't know how to graph it right off the top of my head, but I know what these graphs look like. Alright, y equals x cubed. Y equals x cubed is going to look like this. It almost looks like it's a parabola on this side, and it looks like it's an upside down parabola on this side. It almost looks like maybe I have a full parabola like this, and I took this side and I just broke it, and then I flipped him upside down. Now, on this side of the graph, it's actually kind of going down. Whereas if I go on that side of the graph, it's actually going up. So this is to the 3rd degree. It's an odd degree. And they start and stop in opposite directions. This one's starting on, you know, going down, and it's ending going up. Alright, this is going to be a graph of y equals x to the 4th power, and it's going to have a bunch of like dot, 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 dot. And what I mean by dot, dot, dot is like x to the 4th power plus 3x cubed, dot, 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 all the way until I get to like 2. The reason why I didn't tell you exactly what the graph looks like is because I can tell you kind of what it's going to look like, And I wanted to have like some weird numbers in the middle so that it doesn't give me the standard parabola. But actually it's not a parabola, it could look something like this. Alright, here's what I want you to notice. Look at the degree of this parabola. The degree of this parabola is, or not parabola, of this polynomial. The degree of this polynomial is a to the fourth power. It's an even degree. It starts going up. On the left-hand side, it's going up. On the right-hand side, as I go off to infinity that way, it goes up. If I put a negative out in front, this is how that graph would change. It could look something like this. But notice that on the left side, it's going down. On the right side, it's going down. Something about that degree, whether it's even or odd, kind of tells you how this polynomial will start and end, and whether or not they will be in the opposite directions or in the same direction. Shoots, bro! Up out!